Just tell me when. Kira can just say hi. Welcome. I'm here. Can you hear me? All right. So I moved. I'm still living in the same house as always. Well, Kira's muted, so I can't hear Kira right now, but anyway, all right, so tonight we're going to try something a little bit different. We're going to do a live reaction to the FFG Live at Gen Con. You know, the in-flight report's always been one of my favorite events at Gen Con, and today is the day. Wednesday is the day for me. Like, I love walking the hall the day before it opens, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen this year because of COVID. So we are having to do a lot of live stuff as an industry, and this is one of the biggest events there at the show. FFG has always been a juggernaut. They've always been a staple of Gen Con, and they've always come to the show with some really good stuff. Like, they've always introduced something new. They've always brought some surprises to the show. Last year, the big game was Marvel Champions. Obviously, since that time, we've seen 6 heroes, 2 villains. We're about to hit a brand new expansion in September, The Rise of Red Skull, which is going to be exciting. It's the first campaign, so we expect tonight something. Also, last year, we had the announce of Marvel Protocol Crisis. Was that the name of it? The miniatures game? Crisis Protocol. I'm not sure how well that's done. I don't know if it's struggled or if it's done well. They've also.
I don't think it's not something that we would pay attention to, right?
Yeah, we're not big miniatures gamers. Yeah. Sure. And then they added a number of things to Armada, KeyForge, and of course X-Wing. And I think the only board game that they introduced last year was Arkham Final Hour, which we have a review up on our channel. It was a little card game with a board. That's just a co-op game. It was interesting. I think it's kind of fallen to the wayside. No, I don't see anyone playing that today, but I'm excited to see what they have. FFG has gone through a number of changes in the past, 2 years since they were bought out from Asmodee. Of course, Christian Peterson is no longer there. He was the founder, a designer for them, has a number of wonderful games. And then, of course, Andrew Navarro left at December of 2019, so they have new leadership there. A number of the people that I grew up with, even going back to 2007, 2008, when I first met a lot of the people at FFG, have been, released or are gone. So it's a very different company now than it was even 2 years ago, which is unfortunate in a way because a lot of the people that we knew there are gone, and I don't know where that leaves FFG as a company. Obviously, a lot of the path for them is being driven by Asmodee, and I don't know if that's going to reflect in tonight. And we'll see a limited number of board game releases. Obviously, we'll see some big titles for X-Wing and Armada and Marvel Champions, but I don't know what that means for the future of FFG, and we'll see.
Be interesting. So in the comments, we have Chad, who said what I've been waiting for, and I think, Jeremy, you would agree to a degree. Outer Rim expansion. Can we get an Outer Rim expansion? I'm ready for one.
Yeah, let's talk about predictions for the night. I obviously foresee... I can hear you. I obviously foresee Marvel Champions, expansions, X-Wing, Armada, all the staples, KeyForge. We'll see those things.
Yeah.
I do think that, and I don't know for Outer Rim. I would like to see one, but they historically haven't showed a lot of expansions for board games at these events. They may tonight. Sure. I don't know. My big prediction for the night is a Twilight Imperium expansion.
Ooh, that would be great.
I just think that makes sense for them. It's a staple of their catalog. Was it 2 years ago that they had that, or was it last year? It was 2 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they had the brand new edition on the floor. They had announced it, but they didn't announce it was going to be there, and then it was just
2 years
suddenly
ago,
there.
I think
it was 2 years ago. Yeah. As far as other games, Ryan, do you have any ideas?
Well, I have my thoughts, but I want to talk about some of these great thoughts that are in the comments. We have a couple.
Sure.
Fallout LCG, that would be cool. That's like a pie in the sky. I think that would be great. Chris Peach thinks we're probably going to get a Marvel board game that is unrelated to Marvel Champions. I could see that happening. Maybe some new Netrunner products. I think. Chad Stilson says maybe that will release an expansion for Outer Rim that's themed around the Mandalorian. That would be pretty cool. I would play a lot of that. And then somebody, let me see here. I see potentially a Civilization New Dawn expansion, and maybe a Descent 3.0. That would be a pretty big announcement.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they go back to dungeon crawlers. I feel like the current path with the Lord of the Rings, Journeys of Middle-earth, is their dungeon crawler. And I think it's a more refined dungeon crawler than what Descent is. So if they do something with Descent, I absolutely foresee them going into the more tech route with that and doing an app for it, which is interesting as well. Let's talk about that a little bit too. Like when Asmodee came in, they dropped off the digital aspects. I love the original Lord of the Rings LCG. It's one of my favorite games, and I was super excited to see that it was taken to the digital front. But now that they've completely removed that aspect, I don't know what their digital department looks like. I believe they're still doing apps for games, and I think that will continue. But if Descent comes out with a new edition, I don't know how they'll handle that.
Yeah, it really
Game
needs to happen.
Research in the comments is saying, what about a Marvel game like the one for Lord of the Rings? Do you think that's something we might see from them?
I don't know if who owns the license for the board games. All these things are really weird. Like being around FFG for as long as some of us have, every year that I would go to this in-flight report, my hand would go up and I'd ask about Zelda. I would, because I want a Zelda, but there's so many complications with the rights to Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and what can be made. Is it a card game? Does it have a board in the game? Does it have certain types of components? Because if it is, this company owns a license to those types of
Right,
things.
I've heard that. Like if it has dice, it's one game, or if it has cards, it's another, and different people own those.
Yeah, so there's some really weird lines that have been drawn in the board game industry for what companies can and can't make with certain licenses. So I don't know who owns the technical license to Marvel board games and what that consists of. So I don't know if we'll see anything like that.
Chris Peach, who is one of our resident Marvel experts from the comments, believes, he seems pretty accurate, that Fantasy Flight has all the license for the entirety of Marvel Comics, but not the MCU. Which is why we have games out like Thanos Rising from the Op, which Thanos Rising is an MCU-based game. I mean, they used stills from the movie even. Whereas everything that Fantasy Flight's doing has not been based on the movies, but it's used artwork from the comic books or original artwork.
All right, so I'll digress there. I think that may be true, but I do believe that the MCU owns the rights to some of those things and will not progress down certain paths, like the X-Men. It's part of Marvel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, that's part of Marvel. But we haven't seen crap for either one of those two franchises in any of these games. Marvel Villainous, Marvel Champions LCG. I believe that the MCU is holding on to these because they're waiting for the right time to introduce them into the movies and build that hype, and then we'll see them in these types of games.
It's very possible that just because Marvel owns the license doesn't, and like I do role-playing game design, right? So I'm used to this kind of thing where even if you have the IP, they might come back and say, okay, you have the IP, you can do whatever, but we get final approval. So Fantasy Flight comes and says, we want to do the Fantastic Four box for Marvel Champions. Fantasy Flight can say, or Marvel can say, no Fantastic Four stuff until X time. Maybe they want to wait until a movie comes out, because even though the license is comic book related, I mean, people are still going to make that connection. They're going to see MCU storylines, even though we haven't seen Thanos show up in Marvel Champions yet. Maybe we will around the corner. But again,
Imperial Assault 2.0. I'd like to see an Imperial Assault. I just did a review on Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, and I do think that as we start to see more dungeon crawlers come out, this whole book aspect versus tile aspect is a really important argument that needs to be made, because I believe that, for me at least, it's far easier for me to sit down and play a game like Imperial Assault when it's on a book, just because everything is right there.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person that wants to play through a campaign less than skirmishes, so I think that's really kind of an incentive for me to want to go through that storyline on those books, because everything is there. I don't like the format of Imperial Assault. In fact, in that review, I took some pictures of my area back here that has all the games with map tiles, and it's literally shelves and shelves of shelves
Uh-huh.
that have 4 or 5 boxes of expansions. That's just map tiles, and I tell you what, I don't want to pull out those to play every time. So I love the book format. I would love to see Imperial Assault 2.0. I love Star Wars, but if they do, they need to simplify that whole system in some way.
I agree with that. I think
It's a great point.
since Mansions of Madness came out, I have been approaching all of these games differently. Obviously, Journeys to Middle-earth was a little bit different, but it did have a lot of that feeling that we had there too. So hopefully that maintains.
The joy of that too, the joy of Journeys in Middle-earth for me is that it is driven by that app. So the exploration part of Journeys in Middle-earth is very different than the exploration in Imperial Assault or Gloomhaven, because as you lay the board out in Imperial Assault and in Gloomhaven, you see everything right there in the book. You know what the map's going to look like. You know where treasure chests are going to be hidden.
Mhm.
In Journeys in Middle-earth, you don't. You're exploring the map. You're like, oh, there's something over here. Now there's a carrot. Now the map starts to expand. You don't see
I
that at the
love that
beginning.
aspect. That aspect of Journeys to Middle-earth, exploring that new tile was such a cool feeling. We got a couple minutes
Absolutely.
left. You should be able to see the stream, hear the stream. You can kind of see them getting ready in the background there. So looks like they're getting set up here to start in about 3 minutes. So any final thoughts before they go live? We got a
Just
couple
let everyone
minutes.
know, we will have this in the background. We will be talking a little bit over the top of it. We'll try to keep our comments to a minimum. And then after the event, we will just stay right here and talk about everything that we saw. It's going to be hard for us not to get excited about certain things. As I said, this event has always been really fun for everybody in the industry and all the consumers of FFG products. So hopefully they have some really cool products tonight. So if we get excited and we scream,
Well,
So
there's usually applause. I mean, the audience really does get into it
they do.
when you're there live. So we obviously can't duplicate that. But I mentioned this on Facebook. One of the cool things about doing this is I think this is the first time that they've ever put the in-flight online. Is that correct?
I think
Yeah.
last year they may have been recording it and put it up afterwards. I mean, they had 2 giant cranes in there, and I can't remember what they were doing. I was so involved when they announced Marvel Champions. It was over at
Yeah.
that point. I was ready for a new LCG. So
Right.
I don't know where if they put that
Oh, look at
online,
that.
but I imagine last year's event is online somewhere.
It's got a little Warhammer going on in the background.
I have to wonder, does he realize that he's on? Is this for us? Is he doing this because he's like showing off a little bit, like, check out my awesome hammer?
I don't
Or
know,
is he
but-
just talking to somebody and doesn't realize that they've got this, like, screen up for him?
What is
where we
that?
can kind
I'm
of see
sure he
through?
knows. What is that sculpture behind him? That looks pretty cool.
Looks creepy.
I don't know if
Giant black eyes.
If anybody can tell me, well, that's like a little stuff down. I mean the sculpture, like the big one that's right behind him.
Oh, I see it now on the left side.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. I want to see what people are saying. Gator Dave says
I
this
don't
is
know.
about
That
to
looks
turn into
like
a rear
something-
window.
Oh my.
I don't
I
know
think
what
the big eyes, that looks like something from KeyForge.
it does.
would
That
be my
definitely
guess.
looks like it could be KeyForge. That whole shelf over there looks very KeyForgey, but then there's like that, almost like the cool like samurai guy behind him with the sword. All
Yeah, it looks neat.
1 minute, guys.
He looks excited. He looks like he wants to tell us something very
He
important.
does.
Oh,
He's-
no,
Yeah.
he doesn't. He's leaving. He's like, no, I'm
Well,
done.
you got 1 minute left. You got to
Yeah.
get set
He's
up.
got to get another hammer.
He's got to get that hammer
He's got
back.
to
are
get
so
more
much
cool
fun.
stuff to show us.
I'll
wonder-
say this too, as we have a minute left. Ryan and I have been, Kira as well. We've been video games fans for a long time, and I've been to E3 a number of times. These press events, especially on the video game side, have always been extremely important to me. Like, I love watching them online. I've been to several of these press events at E3 as I worked in the video game industry. I love these type of things, and if more companies can do more of these type of things, so be it. I will tune in every single time. So, I like it.
All right, 20 seconds, guys. Whew. I just want big Marvel tonight. Give me tons of new Marvel content.
It'll be one hero.
And give me a new IP. That would be awesome if they just announced some crazy IP that they were doing that nobody expected. That's what I'm hoping for. Kira, I think you're muted again, by the way. Oh, we're going.
Here we go.
Surprise me. Surprise me. Surprise me.
This is cool.
Yeah, they know how to produce stuff for sure.
I'll take more of that.
Yeah, huh? Oh, the red stall.
They showed it. That means something,
Ooh,
right?
More rebellion, maybe.
That'd be sweet.
That would be sweet.
Some Rogue One.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2020 Fantasy Flight Games In-Flight Report. I'm Chris Gerber, the head of Fantasy Flight Games Studio. And as you know, Gen Con is online this year, which means we can't gather in person and have our traditional event. But as you can clearly see, we are also staying very safe in our studio here in Minnesota. We're all going to be wearing masks during this entire presentation. Obviously, this is not really the way that I would have preferred to introduce myself to all of you, but like a good legacy game, the lower half of my face is just going to need to remain sealed until we can unlock it by defeating this virus.
Good comment.
And despite the fact that we can't see your faces and you can't see ours, we are beyond excited to broadcast our newest and biggest announcements and show off what we've been working on. So, thank you all for coming and for your love and commitment to this hobby that we all share, which is, of course, tabletop gaming. So, here at Fantasy Flight Games, we are always striving to innovate and push our games to the next level in art, in mechanics, in player experience. Tonight, we're going to see announcements of some brand new games, some new editions of older games, and expansions for existing games. We're going to be covering just an overview here tonight, and we won't be taking questions during the show, but we will be presenting a full suite of deep dive live streams starting tomorrow and running through Sunday that are going to give you plenty of chances to get your questions answered. So, without further ado, let's get started. And we're going to start by taking a look at what's coming up for our minis game titles. And to do that, I'm going to actually pass this over to John Schaefer, the head of the Fantasy Flight Miniatures game team.
It's a cool little transition.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Chris. Hi, I'm John, and I oversee the talented team that brings you all such great games as Star Wars X-Wing, Legion, and Armada. My part of the in-flight report will cover the miniatures releases that we have scheduled throughout the rest of the year, and we'll even dip our toes a little bit into 2021. I'm honored to show off some of the great upcoming products the team has been working so hard on, and I can see no real reason to not get started right away. Let's begin with a little game you may have heard of called Star Wars X-Wing.
This is going to be popular, I'm sure.
So we've recently updated the points and the hyperspace game mode restrictions for the summer, and no doubt many of you are busy plotting out your next squadron lists and evaluating the pool of hyperspace options.
Brian, did you ever play X-Wing?
We've also been collecting your feedback on the solo play alpha rules we posted on our website, and we'll have an update to all that content soon.
Yeah.
Though the circumstances we find ourselves in have caused some delays, we are filling
but
the
it got
fall of this
really
year with a rapid succession of X-Wing product releases spread across multiple factions. So we've already announced the first part of Wave 7 with the Z-Class shuttle, the Lat-I gunship, and the HMP gunship releases. And these ships will be available in September, and expect preview articles on our website for these ships in the coming months. We read out the rest of the wave with 2 additional releases. First up, the TIE RB Heavy adds new firepower and exciting TIE-specific upgrade cards to the Imperial faction.
Dude.
And
they're digging deep into Star Wars, aren't they? I mean, they're looking through some almanacs here to find some random ships.
A durable chassis, and exciting new pilots and upgrades. Note that this ship is on a medium base, and that the main cannon is a movable part that rotates from the front to the rear of the ship.
Oh, that's
I think I'll take 2 of those. Next up, we've got the Heralds of Hope expansion, which brings the intense action of the Rise of Skywalker to the tabletop. Updated with new versions of favorite pilots and new paint schemes for the T-70 X-Wing and RZ-2 A-Wing. These put the most skilled pilots of the Resistance at your disposal. I'm hard-pressed to choose a favorite amongst these new paint schemes, but I think that A-Wing paint job is kind of hard to beat.
It's Poe's X-Wing in the middle. That's
so these two
cool.
new products will be available in October.
I'm sure that's Poe.
The next wave
The
of releases
yellow?
takes
Might
us
be.
even deeper into the Clone
I
Wars.
think
with
Poe already
4 new
has one.
ships, a pair
get
each
that
for the
thing.
Separatist Alliance and the Galactic Republic.
Never seen that.
First up for the Separatist Alliance is the nimble and deadly droid Tri-Fighter. This potent starfighter uses its maneuverability and a special configuration to outflank the enemy with superior speed and strike at their weakest points. The traditional gray and blue Separatist scheme will make the ship look right at home along your Hyena bombers and Vulture droids. Next up, we've got Jango Fett's Slave One, which introduces the first medium-based ship to the faction and offers a versatile
nice
and
looking.
durable option to the Separatist Alliance. Though this is a Separatist ship, the addition of this renowned bounty hunter adds new illicit upgrades and crew options for both the Separatist and the Scum and Villainy factions. I'm a huge fan of the fire spray, so I'm really looking forward to this one.
That's cool looking.
Next up, on the Republic side, we've got the Nimbus-class V-Wing, which is a precursor to the ubiquitous TIE LN fighter. The V-Wing can equip many of the new TIE-specific upgrade cards introduced in this wave. This ship offers an agile new option for Republic squadrons. Following that, we've got the Eta II Actis expansion, which introduces all new Jedi options to the Galactic Republic. The detachable hyperspace ring is an upgrade usable by and compatible with the miniatures of a number of Republic ships. This includes the Delta 7 Aether Spray, the Nimbus-class V-Wing, in addition to the Eta II Actis.
See Obi-Wan Kenobi there.
So these 4
piloting
new
that.
ships will add intriguing new tactical options and beautiful new miniatures to the Clone Wars factions, and they will be available in November. If you want to learn more about these releases and engage in some talk about the new hyperspace format with the development team, be sure to tune into our X-Wing product live stream tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central. So
It's like a
that sums up the
lifestyle
X-Wing releases
game.
we have planned for
Yeah,
the rest
it
of the
really
year,
is.
but expect a number of exciting new
I really
announcements on the
dabble in it.
horizon for
I
products
guess
to
you
be
can,
released in
but
Q1 of 2021.
definitely a lifestyle game.
I can't wait to see what kinds of squadrons will be built around these iconic ships and the new upgrades that they include. So let's transition from the stars to the surface and talk a little bit more about Star Wars Legion.
Oh, that's
Man, I wish these came
We've been very
painted. I know
happy
why
with the
they
public
don't,
perception
but
of the Clone Wars
I probably would have
factions, and we're
played this
very
if they
excited
came
about this new
painted.
era
I
for the
would've
game,
too.
and
I
also
would've.
to round out these new factions with exciting new units. We've just released Cad Bane and Padme Amidala, and have a number of amazing releases like ARC Troopers, Inferno Squad, BX Droids,
that's
and
cool.
Clan Ren releasing soon.
I
To
just
add
suck
even
at
more
painting.
thematic and tactical
Me
options
too.
to your
Like,
Clone Wars
awful.
forces,
It's
we're
yeah.
rounding out the year with
takes
the release of
Jared
2
Funkhouse are
potent
awful.
force-wielding characters.
Now,
The
I
renowned
bet he
hero
does a
of the
better
Clone
job
Wars,
with
No,
his
I
new
Anakin
glasses.
Skywalker is an iconic
He
character
does.
to lead your Republic
Oh, that's
forces
I
on
do
the
love
ball.
his off screen.
This potent
Hulk,
commander
though.
gains
See,
new
if
force
that came
powers the longer
painted
that he
like
fights.
that and it looked like that
Anakin
out of
should
the
beware,
box.
lest his
Right?
thirst
Yeah.
for power
Plot.
become his downfall.
Plot.
I'm
Just
on.
as a toy, even if I didn't
Anakin
play
can be
it.
assembled in one of 2 striking poses, and the product comes with 2
Oh,
different
that's
head options.
cool.
I really like the late war Revenge of the Sith depiction of the miniature, and the pose with the 2-handed grip on the lightsaber, it's pretty awesome. So with such an amazing addition to the Republic, we certainly had to bring something suitably impressive for the Separatists. Fueled by his hatred, Darth Maul enters combat with his iconic double-bladed lightsaber, providing
I mean,
a
it's
formidable
awesome.
operative
It
for the
is
Separatist
awesome.
Alliance.
Mine will never look that
Already
good.
a deadly combatant,
No.
his Sith probe droids seek out new targets to give him even more of an advantage on the tabletop.
Yeah, I'm
All
the kind of
comes with
gamer
3
that if I'm going
medicine
to play
pose
this, I want it to look
options, 2 different
exactly
head
like
options,
that.
and
Like,
3 probe
exactly.
droid miniatures.
Mine will just be a blob
I
of red
particularly
on
like
his,
that the
his
iconic
face.
markings on his face are kind of
a
lightly
red
etched into the
saber.
surface to make painting them a little bit easier to achieve. So, I mean, just look at that miniature. I love how the sculpting team are pushing themselves and really leveraging the benefits of the new plastic supplied on frames. It seems like the quality and options available continue to improve with each new release. So these 2 mighty characters will be storming across the battlefield near you in November of this year.
That's pretty cool.
But what of inexpensive commanders and other specialist options for your Clone Wars factions, you might ask? Well, we're glad to announce personnel expansions for these factions that offer a bounty of new options to customize your Republic or Separatist forces. The Separatist Specialist Personnel expansion upgrades your armies with even more specialized droids that fill the personnel slot, including a recon,
Those are
medical,
cool.
and worker droid.
Those are cool.
I wish I was
T-Series
patient
tactical droid
enough
can
to
be fielded
paint like
as a
this.
unit upgrade
Right.
or as a
I'm
standalone
not.
commander.
I'm
In
not.
addition, 3 new faction
My
exclusive
husband is,
battle
I
cards
am
invite
not.
players to explore new strategies in the command phase. The expansion comes with 4 unique droids that add tactical options and visual diversity to your Separatist core units.
On the back right,
the EV
cool.
series medical droid can keep
no
your
idea what he's
commanders and
from.
operatives healed up. The PK worker droid can repair your droids and vehicles. And the Viper Recon droid provides useful observation tokens to your units. Finally, the T-Series Tactical Droid adds a much-needed, inexpensive commander option to the Separatists and opens up list building to bring greater numbers to bear than ever before. The Republic Specialist Personnel expansion diversifies your squads of clone troopers with additional troops that also fill that personnel slot, incling those that improve communications, ones that
I like the mini with the little hologram, like he's
friendly vehicles on the
I don't need to play the game to take those. Those are
a
sweet.
commander and 2 faction-exclusive command cards.
Brian, did you finish Clone Wars,
3
by the way?
faction-exclusive
No,
command
I
cards
still haven't.
offer even more strategic options.
But this reminds me.
I haven't either.
This
I'm
expansion comes with
close.
4
Do you
unique
remember the
clone
old,
personnel
like,
upgrades,
Gotta
new
finish them.
character and tactical focus to your
The old
Rebel
Republic
Corps units.
game for like PS2 or
That
maybe
includes
Xbox
a
where you
clone
played as the
engineer,
like
medic,
clone
and a comms
troopers.
technician.
That's what this
In
reminds me
addition,
of. That
the
was
Clone
a
Commander
great
has
game.
multiple build options.
The Republic
and can
Commando,
serve as an
maybe?
inexpensive choice for leadership
it.
in your clone army. I absolutely love that variant that has the little hologram projection in his hand.
Said first board game announcement.
Get
825.
ready for the options and
do we think?
customizability that these personnel expansions will offer.
We got to
in
get through the
January
miniatures
of
before we get to the
2021.
stuff I'm excited about. I'm just
Now, that is
not
just
as
a
into
taste
the
of what we have
miniatures.
coming up for Star Wars Legion, and we can't wait to show you more of what's coming in 2021 later this year. Be sure to check out our Legion live stream on the Gen Con website this Saturday at 4 p.m. Central for more insight into these new products. Note that Legion live stream will be hosted on the Gen Con Online main stage Twitch channel and not on our normal FFG channel. So we'll make sure to back up the stream on YouTube as normal just in case that you miss it. So let's continue to celebrate all things Clone Wars with something I know many of you have been waiting for.
Uh-oh. Oh.
Some giant ship.
Like giant ships.
I don't know, but I don't even like minis, but now I'm just like at the edge of my seat.
It's Armada.
Yeah, it looks
Right?
like Armada stuff. That's cool. That's pretty cool. I know people have been wanting this for a long time. I don't play Armada, but I know a lot of Armada fans have been asking for this kind of content, so that's pretty cool.
Well, the local game store here, they have people playing all the time.
Oh, Armada is
Just
so
annex
popular.
them.
Yeah.
There it is,
Yeah.
the start of a whole new era for Armada. Let's dig a little bit into those releases. The Galactic Republic Fleet Starter lays the foundations for your Republic fleets with 1 Acclimator class and 2 Consular class capital ships, alongside
pretty cool.
4 V-19 Torrent squadrons. In addition to bringing iconic Jedi and clones into the game, this pack also contains all the essential components needed to play, making it the perfect entry point for new players. This is a new direction for Armada that provides a faction-specific and affordable entry point for the game. Another thing of note is that we've redesigned the ship cards for Clone Wars for the Clone Wars factions, putting game-relevant info on one side of the card and all of the fleet-building rules on the other side. This allows us to better show off the great new art for these ships, and also it standardizes the card size for easier storage.
Well, see, card storage does
The
matter.
Republic Fighter Squadron expansion puts an array of iconic Republic starfighters at your fingertips, including squadrons of Delta 7 Aether Sprites, Arc 170s,
No,
and
these do
BTLB
come
Y-Wings.
painted. At least the big ones
Legendary
come painted,
Jedi Knights and elite clone
X-Wing comes
troopers add
painted as
their
well.
skills to the 8 additional squadrons that you'll find here. Much like the Republic Fleet Starter, this pack
Yeah, and I know that they
also
have rules on
provides the
painting
building
things
blocks
for
your
this. Like, I
Separatist
don't think
fleet
you're
and
allowed
contains
to
a
paint
munificent class
for
and 2
tournament
Hard-Cell
play,
class capital
but you
ships,
are allowed to paint
supported by 4
your
squadrons of
guys
Vulture
from
droids.
Legion, which is really weird.
Yeah.
In addition
I
to
mean,
introducing
I'm not a
iconic
miniatures
Separatist
person,
ships
so
and
I don't
characters
claim to
into
know the
Armada, it also
reasons why.
provides an
I'm sure someone in the comments
all
will
the essential
say.
components that new players need
I think
to
these
get started with
the
the game,
bigger
like
ones at least
objective
do come
cards, maneuver
pre-painted
tool,
for
and dice.
Armada.
The Separatist Fighter Squadron expansion adds a variety of
Yeah, I
deadly
played
droid
X-Wing for about a year and a
starfighter
half.
squadrons to your Separatist fleets,
And I think by the end of it, I'd
including
spent
Droid
close
Bomber,
to $2,500,
Droid
$2,600,
Starfighter, and Droid
and I
Trifighter.
sold everything.
These 8
Just got to be
squadrons
too
can be
much.
deployed as
Because I was buying
standard
everything.
models,
Even if
or
I
they
didn't
can be
play, I might
upgraded
buy
for more
them.
firepower and have special abilities. The dials pack.
How many of the
expanding
Marvel
fleets
Champions
easy with
characters have
additional
you played,
command and
Jeremy?
speed dials, as well as copies of.
I've played all
You
of them.
played all of them?
Yeah, I'm
The
caught
fleet
up with
starters come
everything.
supplied with 10 dials, and this pack will allow you to increase your command over additional ships as your collection expands.
All the villains too?
Finally, the upgrade card
not
collection
as
brings
many
together
villains,
all of the
so those are pretty
previously
easy to
released
get through.
upgrades in a new
Sure.
standard-sized card format for the benefit of new players looking to build the best fleets right away, or for veteran
Little
players
buffering
that
issue
just
there.
want to round out their collections. You can expect these products to be released in December of this year, with more exciting announcements about in the coming months for future Clone Wars products that will release in Q1 of 2021.
That's pretty cool. Yeah,
100
Catch our live
bones.
stream this Friday
Yep.
at 9 a.m. Central Time,
Ooh.
where we will delve
a
more
bit
into
of
what
a-
the
That's why
Clone
it's a
Wars will
lifestyle.
bring to
That's a
Armada.
lifestyle game for sure.
Well, that's my time.
These are already painted.
Brand new
Yeah,
right,
they are,
for
yes.
Armada?
Star Wars Armada to some
Yeah.
of the Clone Wars heroes and villains that are the most celebrated. There's so much to be excited about for our Star Wars miniatures games. We have a lot more to announce and to show off. So for the rest of the show, I'm going to turn it back over to Chris Gerber. Thanks,
All right,
everyone.
Chris, give me some board game stuff.
Marvel, please.
Thanks, John. Those are really, truly exciting and awesome. And I know that my son and I personally can't wait for the Armada Clone Wars fleet starters. But now I would like to talk about what is in store for our board games and our
Yes.
card games.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
please.
first, let's turn to a game that
Please.
is undeniably near and dear to our hearts, KeyForge.
Ryan will be excited.
I do like KeyForge.
As
like
many of you
KeyForge.
know, is a game
Meh.
unlike
play it.
any other in existence. With KeyForge, each and every deck is unique. No two decks in the world are the same. And all you need to be able to jump in and play is one single deck.
And they're having some buffering issues today, it seems.
They are.
Sorry about that, guys. Has it happening for you guys too? Oh, looks like they just went off the air for a second. Now you guys watching at home know when we do the live stream every week, this is the kind of stuff that happens.
Yep.
So
It
hopefully
happens
they're-
to everybody too.
It
Like,
does
this
happen to
happens
everybody.
I feel better
to
now.
companies in the world. It happens.
hopefully they
Just
come
bear
right,
with them for a moment.
hopefully they come right back up.
Oh, I can see their mouse moving.
They
Is
just
that
cut
you?
out.
That's you.
They just cut out at the wrong time.
It's gone. Come back. We miss you.
I know, right?
The comments are insane. Look at that. Can you show that, Ryan?
So hilarious.
Pull this over, you'll be able to see the comments as well. Just look at this comments tracker going of all these people. So hopefully this pops back up in a second. But this is just right
Hilarious.
when it was starting to get good. But this this is the life of doing anything with the live streams. So stick
Yep.
around with us, guys, because we're still going to be here waiting for this to come back. And it looks like maybe they are about to
I
come
think
back
we're back.
here.
I don't know.
They got something up here at least.
I wonder if this was pre-recorded. Do you think it was? I'm pretty sure it had to.
It doesn't feel no, because they just when they did the transition just there, it wasn't pulling from his mic. You could actually only hear him through the John's mic. So they had to switch
You
the
can
mic.
still
So
record it that way.
yeah,
You can
but
still
I
record it that
they
way.
can.
And that's the
Here
end
we
of our
go.
show. I hope you enjoyed everything.
Yeah, see, this is
that we
obviously
just-
live. Why
so
is there a
obviously
purple
we
tint
just
over
Hilarious.
crashed
Hilarious.
somewhere in the vicinity of KeyForge. So I'm going to start over at the KeyForge section, and
I
I
don't know
will
why it's
bring
purple,
us
though.
back up
Just
to
reload
speed.
it.
So apologies.
I'm gonna reload it, guys. So hopefully we don't lose anything. That's strange that it's purple. There we go. Not
You
purple.
may have
go.
heard me say is a game unlike any other in existence. With KeyForge, each and every deck
Yeah, there we go.
is unique, and no two.
Uh-oh. They just can't get their KeyForge is the problem. This is the day that KeyForge broke Fantasy Flight Games. He's going to come back and he's going to say, you know what, forget it. We're not talking about KeyForge today. Holy
Asmodee's
purple
not
bell.
paying the light bill.
they're overloading their internet. I mean, they do. To be fair and honest with them, I doubt they could have possibly anticipated probably the number of people that are watching this right now. So it's very possible that it's overloading them because they're not used to having everyone in the industry and all the fans being able to watch it like this. So hopefully they get
only
that,
about 4,000
sorted out.
It's not a ton.
They're saying the lawyers shut down the stream every time they said the word KeyForge. That's somebody's gotten the cord out.
I like that. That's funny.
We can't talk about KeyForge. So yeah, you can see the chat here. This can only be a joke. It seems they're not taking it seriously. Ooh, I mean, we've been on the other side of this. We know what this is like from doing live streams. We just did our big Gen Con marathon last week, and luckily for us, everything worked. But we've been in situations like this was not our first time doing that, right? So I don't know. I'm feeling for them right now. You know, there's a tech guy right there who's worried about his job right now, frantically trying to get the stream back up.
That's not nice.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, I know that pressure. You're like, oh, the stream goes dead. Even if it's not your fault.
I always threaten to fire Ryan.
That's true. You feel that. You feel that pressure. Why do you think Gary's not really around anymore? I'm just kidding. That's not why.
Because we fired him.
That has nothing to do with it. So, somebody says, this is pretty interesting. Obviously, people are asking me. I'm starting to get some comments. Are you guys watching the FFG thing? Trying to. I'm saying.
Trying to. We are trying to.
Somebody says, "Is this confirmation of Half-Life 3? This is what it takes."
Oh.
All right. So for real though, obviously we don't have a ton of stuff to talk about because all we've seen so far was the miniatures, and we've done a lot. People have been talking a lot in the comments.
KeyForge, Ryan. What do you think they're going to say? What is coming? What is the exciting thing?
We already have the KeyForge role-playing game. I wouldn't be surprised if they announced a new KeyForge set, but also I would personally like a board game or card game set in the KeyForge universe that's not KeyForge. I think
they obviously own the IP to that, so they definitely could do that.
I think a cool KeyForge board game would be pretty awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody in the Twitch comments just said it looks like they had a Windows update.
The question is KeyForge large enough for it's going to draw an audience of board gamers?
Well, I remember, so the first time they ever announced KeyForge was at the In-Flight, where they gave everybody free KeyForge packs. And for a while, that game was fire. I mean, everyone was talking about it. Everyone was trying to play KeyForge. So whether or not they can rekindle that passion with a board game, I think they might not grab a lot of the KeyForge players, but I mean, there are board gamers that will play anything that Fantasy Flight does. Look what they did with the Android universe. So many different types of Android games that really defy any one genre. I mean, they have games for negotiation, for LCDs.
But Android and Netrunner are a much, much larger license with a huge user base of people. Like KeyForge, I mean, I think KeyForge is a good game, but I think it doesn't dabble enough into the things that I like in card games. That's why I play LCGs and CCGs. Like, it doesn't have that core mechanic of building your own deck, which is so essential to me. And I understand it's a casual game, but I think it turns some people off. They've played it and said, okay, I like the system. The system is really fun. The game's really fun. But this is all, like, I have to keep buying decks to get some variety. And some people like that. And that's great for them. But for me, it's not me. So if a KeyForge board game came out, I would just be curious because the art is spectacular. But the world itself doesn't draw me in because I'm not a huge fan of KeyForge.
Yeah, I mean,
a couple of years ago that drew us in in the same way. And it was it was 2 years ago, maybe. And it was one of those where you wanted to get more than one of the board game boxes. Like you got more than one board game.
Yes, we played that Expedition.
And it was,
Discovery.
Discovery, Lands Unknown, right?
Yeah.
Boy, did I have to reach deep for that one, apparently.
That was definitely, I don't want to say that they mishandled that, but it was a little disappointing because the game wasn't exactly what they promised it was going to be. And a lot of people bought tons of packs of that. Like, I remember you did too, and I've seen people that bought like 6 different. Right.
We played one.
Well, yeah, and then it ended up being that they were so similar to each other that it was like, okay, well, there might be some slight differences between the games, but that's not what we were promised.
I bought 4 of those things.
People are being
and I opened them hoping that I'd have different sets of them, and I ended up opening all 4 of them, but gave 3 of them away. Like I was like,
yeah. For those just joining us, we are waiting on Fantasy Flight. This is their technical difficulty, not ours, so our hands are a little tied. So yeah.
Ryan, did you play Netrunner, by the way?
I played Netrunner. I did the same thing you did with X-Wing. I played Netrunner and I really enjoyed it. I went to a couple of league nights, and then I got the first expansion, and then the second, and then I got busy, and the next thing I know, there was like 6 more, and then I was like so far behind the curve of what was happening that I just completely lost it. And it got to a point where like my decks that I had basically just the first expansion just could not compete with like the power creep that happened over these sets. And so it was like, man, I got to invest. Now it's not just buying an expansion every month. It's buy all these expansions at once and spend $100 or $200. And so I just ended up selling it instead. But I really liked what the game was doing.
Great game.
Yeah.
Great game.
But this is why I like
most of their LPGs. And very
Marvel
different game though. It's not.
It has power creep, but it's cooperative. It's cooperative. That's the key. So people are being a little savage in the comments on Twitch.
In their comments?
Yeah. Somebody just said Fantasy Flight's going to charge you for an expansion to keep watching the live stream. It's a little savage. Hopefully they're working it out behind the scenes. I kind of understand that what Fantasy Flight is doing right now, they could have gone with pre-recorded segments and just played them live. Looks like maybe they're back. We could keep our fingers crossed. Something is happening at least. I don't know.
We'll see here.
We'll see. Oh, wait.
Oh.
We're going to try KeyForge one more time.
I wonder if he's going to repeat what he already said. Uh-oh. Red Ring of Death.
Look, this is somebody said in the comments, good thing we're not savage here on the MvM chat. And you know what? In general, our fans are...
Oh my gosh, they're offline again.
They're offline again. But we're going to stay with you guys. We're not going anywhere. I don't care if our video ends up being 3 hours long.
We're as interested in what they have coming out as you are. Trust me.
I'm watching this anyway. I'm waiting with bated breath. It's like they're just trying to eke out a little more suspense and excitement tonight. So, well, whoever said they were going to get to board games around the 26-minute mark was wrong, because we're trying. We're trying to get to board games.
What do you guys expect from Marvel Champions tonight?
Well, I'm sure they're going to give us a little bit more information about Red Skull. I mean, they've talked a little bit about it. And also, like, the Red Skull box represents the end of a storyline, basically. Like, we've had this basic S.H.I.E.L.D. Hydra storyline that has been interwoven. You'll see that in some of the releases they've had and some of the cards they've had. And I'm wondering if we're going to switch out of the Avengers with the next box. Maybe they're going to tease what's coming next. X-Men maybe would be pretty cool.
I think we all know by now. Like, it's just not happening now.
No,
if they have X-Men or FF, I'm gonna go crazy.
I'll lose my mind.
I don't think they will.
Have I been asking for X-Men for how long? How long have I been asking for X-Men?
In the comments, am I the only one here for a TI4 expansion? Actually, we were just talking about that before the stream started.
We thought there would be one. Yeah, we figure there might be one here. Yeah, man, I want Doom. Doom is my favorite Marvel villain of all time. I think Doom is a shoo-in for being an incredible villain to fight. I want him in Marvel Villainous. I want him in Champions. I want him in everything.
They've already leaked, or I don't even know if it's a leak at this point. They've already basically confirmed that Dr. Doom is going to have a presence in the next wave of the MCU. So I don't know if that means we'll get him in a card pack now, or like they might wait until Dr. Doom makes an appearance in the MCU. I know there's some rumors as to who might be playing him even. I don't want to. Well, we're back. We'll talk about it later.
Are we good? Yeah. We're back. Hello. Welcome to the
that was a frustration. Are we good?
Right. You can tell he's a little bit frustrated.
Apologies.
Are we good?
We have hopefully addressed the technical issue that we have been struggling with, and we are ready to continue. So
that's good.
He's a little redder than he was.
He's a little bit redder.
Our most recent set, the Mass Mutation set, features some really amazing additions. The Vault of Dark Amber is opened, and mutations it causes are running rampant on the Crucible. For the first time, there are gigantic creatures, massive mutants that are too big to be contained on a single card and stretch across 2 cards in your deck. There are also mutated versions of existing creatures, including fan favorites like Bad Penny. Finally, added enhancement icons are introduced by cards in this set, automatically granting other cards a unique twist that further makes your deck stand out as one of a kind and may just give you the edge you need. Mass Mutation, as you can see here, is available at your local retailer now. But I know that you want to know what the future holds. And so today, we are proud to announce the 5th set of Archon decks for KeyForge, Dark Tidings.
Oh, that's cool.
Like all previous sets, Dark Tidings introduces billions upon billions more potential decks into the game, with a refreshed card pool that includes over 250 new cards. With Dark Tidings, then, comes the introduction of a new house. Ooh, the Unfathomable.
That's cool.
This house focuses on controlling the board through exhaustion and placing penalties on your opponent for taking certain actions, making them very taxing for your opponent.
That is a cool icon.
They're going to be replacing House Dis.
Oh,
and with that faction, and of course there's strong control elements rotating out, it has been an important design focus for the Unfathomable house to echo that control, but of course with a distinct new flavor and feel. Another feature coming with this set is a high and low tide mechanic, giving players mastery over the Crucible's various bodies of water. A new tide token will be included in each Dark Tidings deck as a 38th card, and will have a high tide end and a low tide end. Every deck, including non-Dark Tidings decks, is going to be able to shift this card between that high and low tide for them. The vast majority of cards that reference tide are going to benefit you only when the tide is high, encouraging players to engage in a dynamic back and forth struggle to keep the tide on their side. And while every single house is going to be able to take advantage of the shifting tides that rock the Crucible with the introduction of this new tide mechanic, the Unfathomable has the greatest control, allowing players to gain the maximum potential for their tide effects while denying their opponent their own.
There you go, Jeremy. Control.
Finally, the KeyForge algorithm continues to be pushed further than ever with the introduction of evil twin decks. Dark reflections of other decks that exist out in the world that you might rarely find when opening a new Dark Tidings Archon deck. An evil twin deck has a special card back and a name that is based on the appearance and name of an already existing deck. For example, if somebody finds in the world a deck named Televig the Renegade, someone else might be lucky enough to find a deck named Televig the Renegade's Evil Twin.
What?
An Evil Twins deck list composition is identical to its normal Twins deck list, except
that is awesome.
Many of the cards are replaced with altered Evil Twin versions of the normal cards.
Oh, that is kind of cool.
Like you see here. With Taniwa, each with unique and ramped up versions of the the normal cards effect. But these
somebody said they're running out of names.
The player using them.
That's what I thought too. That's the first thing I thought.
But it would be kind of cool to meet your evil twin at a convention or whatever.
Is going to release.
I wonder what the chances of finding someone. I bet you will see those on eBay.
And a standard Arkham deck, and they're all going to be releasing in February of 2021.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Now let's talk about Arkham Horror.
Oh, Kira, here you go.
One of my personal favorite settings. With
I just
Arkham
finished
Horror,
a great campaign.
We have created a connected universe.
I love those campaigns.
a universe that we expand and push forward through many different games.
It was the most unique
Our
one I've
different
played yet.
development teams here at FFG work together to create a unified universe, with each game thrusting investigators at nigh unstoppable eldritch threats at differing scales, but all coming together to form a single unified world. This is especially evident with our plans this year. This fall, the Arkham Horror line is going to Innsmouth.
Oh, yeah.
Innsmouth is an important part of the Arkham Horror world here at FFG. It's a cold, damp, rotting harbor town where dark secrets are shuttered behind closed doors and hidden in the mist. Innsmouth offers us an opportunity to tell a very different kind of story than in Arkham itself, one of mutations and dark shapes rising from the sea and an entire town corrupted by the dark influences of Dagon.
Yeah, Dagon's
We've
one of the
previously
villains in Death May Die.
announced the Underdark Waves expansion for Arkham Horror the board game.
So if you're watching
and
Supernatural.
the Innsmouth Conspiracy expansion for Arkham Horror the card
No,
game.
Night of Hell. Sorry.
And today, we're proud to reveal the 6 Mythos packs that complete the Innsmouth Conspiracy cycle for Arkham Horror the card game. So it begins, the Innsmouth Conspiracy really begins in its deluxe expansion, but then it's going to move forward with these 6 Mythos packs. In Too Deep, Devil's Reef, Horror in High Gear, A Light in the Fog, Lair of Dagon, and Into the Maelstrom.
Show me card.
Across these
Right?
6 scenarios,
I want to see
tangled
what is in
narrative
them.
unfolds, pitting the investigators against unseen cultists, the coming syzygy, and the rising deep ones. Throughout their
New
search for
characters.
answers, investigators will
new
have
characters.
to search through their
Show
memories.
me.
No! Not now! Look.
Oh boy.
Oh no! And that was like that creepy guy staring right at me and everything. Oh.
No.
Look, you could. I guarantee that they're
Don't
behind the
do it.
scenes, probably feeling a little anxious and a little frustrated right now. All right. Well, this is good. This
Send them
actually
love.
gives us a
Go to their
break.
comments. Send them love.
We get to
Mitigate
talk.
the trolls.
We get to talk about it now without having to actually talk over them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. New Arkham Horror. Innsmouth has always been awesome. There's a Mansions of Madness storyline that's set in Innsmouth, which is pretty cool. Dagon is in. I was saying Death May Die features him as one of the gods you can fight. But Kira, you're probably the one that plays Arkham more than anybody. What does this mean?
Yes, I play Tuesday night normally with a couple of friends here locally, and we've been playing online. We just finished the most recent campaign, where you have 2 decks that you're playing with, and you're playing 2 characters simultaneously. So you're switching between the 2 campaigns week to week. You don't have to play that way, but there are, there's, if you're doing this, then go to this in the book type stuff. If not, then go here. But it was hands down the most interesting campaign that I've played of theirs in a long time. And there's been some cool stuff in the scenarios and everything, but the whole campaign this time was incredibly entertaining. And it really got me excited for Arkham again. I'd gotten to a point where I was like, so frustrated because it beats you up so bad. And like, if you're not enjoying the campaign, it's just constant bad. Then what's good about it? So this last one felt really, really good. Like, we had our ups, we had our downs. It was like a good mix of that, and having the 2 character dynamic, and one's in one world and one's in the other, and how you work together is really, really cool.
All right. Last attempt. We are going to continue to try this one more time. If we run into the issue we've been having again, then we will find a different way to get this information out.
No, you better give it
Go to
our
YouTube.
marble.
Go to YouTube. Come on, you can do it.
Give us our
Picking up
marble.
where we left off, or at least where I think we left off. So we were talking about the Innsmouth conspiracy cycle.
Right. No, don't tell me if this crashes again, they're just done.
Oh my gosh.
If they
just
quit,
gonna end it?
No.
I'm going to be so sad.
I am too. We have everybody
Don't
here.
quit.
Everybody is so excited.
Don't give up. Ryan, go
Oh
in the
my
comments.
gosh.
Don't give up. Don't give up. We love
Don't
you.
give up. We love you. Don't give up.
Say that.
Oh
MvM.
man. Like, if they really, like, I don't know. I get that, like, okay, technical difficulties are a thing, but for it to just consistently be happening is telling me either they don't have a consistent.
They've tested this 1,000 times. You know they have. There's something weird going on that they can't control.
But the minute testing in a vacuum is one thing, but the minute you have 3,000 people watching,
YouTube's been weird the last couple of days. I know this isn't YouTube, but like all those servers of all these bigger network things have been messing up. I know we were having trouble the last couple of days with some of it.
That's true.
They have to finish this. I mean, they would be missing out on their biggest announcements. Obviously, they stacked it towards the end. There's zero doubt in my mind.
Twitter, Jeremy.
I know something. But Twitter, what?
Are they saying anything on Twitter about what's going on? Like, are they live tweeting?
I haven't been looking. No.
You're the Twitter guy.
I will cry if they.
I'm gonna be so sad.
I mean, like we've been ready for this all week. We've been waiting for this kickoff. We had everybody here joining us, and luckily, people have been sticking around and joining us in the comments. So that's been really fun. There's people are saying our stream has been so good today that we should just run the stream for them. Maybe we should.
We should invite them.
We should
invite them in. Let's reroute it. Let's reroute them in.
Let's try to see what we can do and
nothing on the Twitter. Nothing on the Twitters.
Maybe they'll release it as a video like they should have. Yes, Alice, that would have been a great idea, but like
that's boring.
Well, it's nice to be live, but if you're not going to interact with your audience, then really you're not getting a lot from being live. But if
whatever,
like it's more.
I like
fun
the excitement of everybody getting excited at the same time about whatever the thing is. I mean, they could, like you say, like we could do it like a premiere, right? Like they upload the video and then everybody's watching the video live together, even though it's not a live video.
I mean, we can still do that, but it looks like we might be having to reconvene potentially if they're not going to continue this.
What would happen if they sent us a cease and desist letter that said that our streaming interrupted their Twitch?
I sincerely doubt that that's the case, Jeremy.
Why that would happen.
I don't think you understand how the internet works.
I'm just messing.
It's too much.
I'm just teasing.
Somebody said
that'd be hilarious.
Sounds like there's a new job opening at FFG. Somebody just said.
Aww. Listen, they're in the middle of Minnesota. They're like in the middle of Minnesota, right? So
Gator Dave said that battle hammer we saw earlier is going to be covered in blood when he gets back. They're not saying anything. I'm going to check the comments and see.
Wait.
No, I did. I wanted to read the comments and see if they're saying anything.
What are the comments? Anything from them?
No, somebody said, have you tried turning it off and back on again? Of course. What a popular comment. Somebody said they should safely re-record with social distancing so you don't have to wear a mask. Because
of course somebody said that.
Well, they have a very good point. People that rely on lip reading to watch your live stream, I never even thought about that. People that
do they not have captioning on?
I don't have it turned on, so I don't know if they have it turned on or not. Somebody said if it does come back, he should just stand there and just quickly shout out the names of all the titles as fast as he can.
Yes, exactly.
Before it shuts down again. All right, we're
flash
them
up on the screen.
Right, we're just gonna go through fast as possible.
Now listen though, last year, Ryan, I don't think you were there. Were you? Did you go last year? I know Jeremy and I were there. David was there, I think. But they had a bunch of technical issues last year.
All right, it sounds like It sounds like what they're saying is they're going to decide to film it and reload it later. That's what somebody's saying. They were saying in the comments. I don't see. I don't know where they're announcing
this. Did FFG say that?
That's what they're. That's what I'm being told. Augustus said they're in the Twitch comments, but the Twitch comments are coming. They're back on new Twitch. What does that mean?
What's new Twitch?
What is new Twitch?
I'm getting old. I can't keep up with all these social medias. I'm so glad that Gary is here. Ryan, he's been trolling you back. If you haven't noticed. I love it. What is new Twitch? Newtwitch.com.
Do it. Do it.
Don't do that. That's a little scary. Ryan, you're muted again somehow. Just so you know.
All right.
Jeremy, you talk.
Maybe I'm just muted on
I'm
that
talking.
screen.
Can you hear me?
I'm not.
Yes.
I'm seeing
Oh
each one of these was broken down into a little bit of its own little video, but they're not currently live. They are currently offline on FFG Live. This is currently what we're seeing here. I'm not sure at what point they're planning on re-recording this. I'm not sure when they're going to be reposting this. So
did you say newtwitch.com?
FFG Live.
Don't do that.
Sorry
Don't
about
do
the
that.
technical problems. Thank you for your patience.
They'll be back. They'll be back.
That isn't. Sorry about the technical problems. Thank you for your patience. What I want to know is, do we wait or are they going
Patience tells me they'll be back.
Patience does tell me they'll be back, and if
With
they're back,
something,
that's great.
even if it's just we're calling it, but they're not going to just quit right now. They'll at least come back one more time.
They better just at least come back and say, "Hey, here's the deal." And man, like they have an entire weekend's worth of live content ready to go, just for all their individual panels and everything. So I'm really hoping that whatever technical issue they're recovering or having tonight, they can resolve it before tomorrow. Or tomorrow's going to be a very long day for them.
Live streaming all the time. This is not new to them. It's telling me something else is going on.
They do, but I don't know if they ever do for this big of a crowd. Like I don't know how many people are viewing right now, but I imagine it was quite a bit.
So Ray Meyer says, any speculation that you can parlay on? We've kind of mentioned the things that we think were going to happen tonight. Twilight Imperium expansion.
Yeah, I still think that's going to happen.
I think I know what the next Marvel expansion is, but I'm not going to.
Do you really?
At this point? Yeah, of course.
You have information you didn't tell me?
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Oh.
But yeah, I was right about Red Skull, wasn't I?
That's true.
Yeah,
I remember
I think I know what it is because I've talked to a couple people, but I'll wait for them to announce it. That's basically the only thing I know, though. I've heard rumors about Twilight Imperium. So people that have played some expansion stuff about it. I don't know if it was just some early concept stuff or if it's actually ready to go. So we'll see. That's all I know, though. Man, I don't know of any board games they've been working on. When Corey left, a lot of that kind of, I don't know. Where is Corey, by the way? Knitska.
I don't know. I haven't heard that he's joined back anywhere.
But
he opened his own studio.
Yeah, but I haven't heard any. Is they have a game or anything out yet? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Somebody's saying they're thinking about putting it onto YouTube.
Maybe it's Twitch.
Really?
Maybe their issues are Twitch. That would be
The issue
cool.
could be Twitch.
I would just open up their YouTube, Ryan, and see if they go live there.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest. People are saying this in the comments, and I just want to make sure we're clear. Like, the number of people watching doesn't actually matter. Unless it's Twitch is having trouble with the server, but it's not going to affect FFG necessarily, right? So we'll have to find out. Hey, look, there's our video. Inception.
Can we watch ourselves watching ourselves? Can you put that up on the screen and have 900 of us going backwards? So are they? Oh.
All right. So I checked. I had it up on it. I checked YouTube and I didn't see anything.
See anything yet?
There's nothing on YouTube.
Every time you change your video layout, Ryan, you go muted. So
yeah, I know. That's why I don't. That's why I'm trying to keep it here. I have no idea why you can hear me on this screen but not the other, because they're both set up the same way. So FFG Live says look for it on YouTube soon.
Love is that he keeps talking even though nobody can hear him.
You can hear me now, right? Everybody should be able to hear me.
Yes.
I hear you.
That's what I'm saying. They should be able to hear me.
Of course we can hear you.
No, I mean the audience should be able to hear me from this perspective. So
Gator Dave wants to look at your bookmarks.
Oh,
lot of it's work
Good call.
related. I mean, you can kind of see them up there.
Dave.
I mean, a lot of it is work related. Almost all my bookmarks are for work. I have my YouTube app, my banking. Of course, I have Facebook.
Sure.
Like I do work for GameFound. So I have my little GameFound logos up here.
Sure, Ryan. I want everyone to guess what Ryan's bookmarks are in the comments. What is the weirdest bookmark you think we'd find?
These are my bookmarks right here. You can see them all at the top of my screen.
I can't read them at all.
I've got my
They're all
email,
like pixelated.
I've got my Facebook, my YouTube, my bank account, and I've got my Google Sheets and Google Forms and Google Docs, my Dropbox link, Clockify, which I use to record time when I'm working, Airtable, which is actually I don't even use Airtable anymore, and then all my GameFound links. So they were talking about YouTube. I'm still seeing them saying YouTube soon. We're coming to YouTube soon. Does that mean 20 minutes or does that mean hours? He says we're currently recording for YouTube. I don't know what that means. I mean, do we come back in an hour? Like, I would like some information.
I have no idea.
Not knowing when to watch. Yeah, somebody just asked in the comments, how about an ETA?
Our friends at Neverboard Gaming just posted on Instagram that they're watching with us. So thanks, guys, for watching.
Guys.
I just want to say hello.
Thanks for watching us watch and wait for Fantasy Flight.
And wait. We're just glad we
watch
have
and
so
wait
many
show.
people here with us.
Wait with us. You know what?
Man.
People are more interested in watching us anyway. We should just do a live stream where we just talk. Let's do Man vs. Mutual in-flight report.
We do that.
I know, we do that every Thursday.
Like every week, right?
So, yeah, everyone, I'm waiting to see what they're saying here. It's very unfortunate.
Okay, Gator Dave wants to know what our typical Gen Con dinners are. I will tell you, Jeremy only eats chicken strips.
That is kind
That's not true. The thing is, I have to force myself to eat because I can walk the hall all day long and play games all night.
I forget. I completely forget to eat.
I always
forget to eat.
I always do Fogo de Chao. We always have a big group of board game people that get together.
For Nick's birthday.
And we do, well, there's like multiple, Nick Little, the developer from Stronghold, Indie Game Studios and Stronghold, the VP. He has, his birthday always falls right around Gen Con, and there's a bunch of big groups that go to Fogo de Chao, which is a staple here in Indy. But Jeremy's right. For us, it's a little different. Like, we're lucky enough to grab a pretzel from that little cafe that you have inside Gen Con. Unless it's
like an overcooked hot dog.
Right. Unless it's like
$9.99, $5.99.
Yeah, $10 hot dog.
Love that $10 burnt hot dog.
Unless
chewy.
It's
right.
It says we're going to record. Oh, he says, okay. FFG Live says we're trying to sort things out. Then we're going to record the in-flight and post it to YouTube once we're finished tonight. So it sounds like they're still trying
They're still gonna do it.
Sounds like they're still gonna do it live, and then afterwards they're gonna put it all back together and put it on YouTube. So somebody in the comments says, "Can you please just confirm a TI4 expansion so I can sleep?" That's people.
Wait, so they are going to do it live?
We've got people from all around the globe watching this.
It sounds like they're about to.
For some people.
So yeah, and really, like the thing about Gen Con is everyone does need to eat. So we do a lot of business meetings over meals as well. So you get a lot of times when you sit down with people and talk about just whatever you need to talk about for the business. So those are fun.
I miss food trucks. I miss Nada. Nada's good. Pork belly tacos, baby. Those are delicious.
Food truck lines are always so long, but I do like island noodles. Now FFG
that place is good.
Yeah. FFG says it'll be posted on YouTube later tonight as soon as we're done recording.
They're going to just record. I don't think they're going back to live.
Yeah, but people are asking, does that mean 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4? Should we be taking a little, like a dinner break, a little snack break?
Gary knows what I'm talking about with Nada.
Nada, we went to Nada last year, yeah.
I have to go.
Nada's really good. I don't know if
I used
Nada's
to work literally
right
catty corner to Nada, and so I went there for lunch. And I miss downtown indie food in general.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, because we never really eat downtown unless we are at Gen Con. At least I don't.
Not since
Not that I don't work down there anymore.
I mean, and we'd moved our office to Fountain Square because our office used to be, my old office back in the day used to be above the Hard Rock, which is also now gone. And they did the awesome Gen Con pins every year, which I've been collecting for years. And I didn't get one last year, and I'm not going to get one this year because they don't exist anymore.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
sad. I did get one at PAX Unplugged, though, because there's a Hard Rock there that's still rocking it.
Yeah. Well,
but
I feel like people are starting to call it a night on our end. Like,
I think so. I think this is it, y'all.
Which is unfortunate. I mean, people are just done for the night. Like, why do we keep watching this when I'm watching you, checking YouTube to see.
Are their numbers dropping like drastically?
Their numbers are. I mean, the stream's not live, so it's hard to.
Yeah, it's
just
hard
to tell.
500.
Somebody says, "Let's do an improv chit chat." I don't know.
Good.
Somebody give us.
Good topic.
Somebody give us a topic.
I can actually mention next week's chit chat, which is actually very interesting.
Oh, I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for this too.
So there is a local gentleman here in Indianapolis who we just met. He is a lecturer at a local university who is one of the biggest Villainous fans of all time. He's played hundreds of games of Disney's Villainous, and he's had the game of Marvel since Saturday, and he's played it like 18 times already. He runs a championship league. He plays online. He has hundreds of videos online of him playing Villainous. And I'm going to get his breakdown. I want to understand what the tournament scene looks like. It's very interesting stuff. Like, this guy is meta when it comes to Disney Villainous. And I love Villainous as a game. So it's going to be exciting to see him, who is very focused on one game. Like, as media and content creators, we're focused on basically everything in the industry. This guy is one genre of games. This is all he does. So I think it's going to be a super interesting conversation to hear that from someone who's really that much into it. So
yeah,
fun topic.
So it looks
super nice guy too.
It looks like they're saying in the Twitch comments that they are calling it completely on the live streaming. They are not coming back. What they're going to do is release a video on YouTube at some point tonight that features the entire in-flight report pre-recorded. So if we want to come back and join us later, we'll jump back on. I mean, we'll figure it out.
I'm sure we will.
And we'll put out some messaging and some information. Of course, it's a bummer when this kind of thing happens, but out of our hands, maybe even out of FFG's hands. I mean, there could be some Twitch issues tonight.
It happens.
Who knows what actually happened behind the scenes? Got some cool announcements so far. Fortunately, all we really got was the miniatures and games and KeyForge. So, guys, I guess just wait to see. If you see the little button come back on that says we're live, we're probably doing this and watching.
We'll probably, if we do anything tonight, we'll make another announcement. I'll see if I can get a hold of FFG to see if I can't get a roundabout time on when that may be.
That would be great.
Otherwise, we'll just do it when we do it. So,
yeah.
So if you want to know when we go live.
Guys, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
If you want to know when we go live, everybody, make sure you go to our channel and you hit the bell and you click all notifications. So when we go live or any new videos go up, you're going to know. And so if we do go back live tonight, when that video comes up from FFG, you'll be the first to know. Of course, we'll also tell you in our Discord channel. So make sure you follow that. Link is in our description below. We'll see you guys next time.
Definitely join the Discord. Because the conversation that's happening here in the comments, we're probably going to keep having it in the Discord. So
yeah, for sure.
Join us. It's a free app, easy to download. All you have to do is follow that link, and it'll basically talk you through the process. So maybe we'll see you guys there.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Later,
bye,
guys.
Everybody.